Hello and welcome to High or Lows, a 5th ed Dungeons & Dragons adventure set in the world of Taraz. I'm Philip Martin, your Dungeon Master, and with me is Ash Mireya.
Hoi hoi.
Next up is Daniel Fletcher.
I'm doing this for the fallen.
In the middle tonight is Laurie Crawford.
Hello, hello.
Bringing up the later pack is Lizzie McPherson.
Hey, lovelies.
And last for tonight is Mimbo Wang.
Fletch, that might be copyright infringement.
Let's all hope
Oh,
not.
that's cool.
We can't afford Mimbo to be our lawyer. Previously on High or Lows, the episode began with the group returning from defeating the zombie holder and testing Chuck's abilities on the zombies. They asked Eaton Belmont about how they would now be viewed by the denizens of Eastern Homestead and were told they might eventually be well regarded, but still best to keep a low profile. After reaching Homestead and bidding farewell to their posse, they made their way to the tap and bunkhouse to retire for the evening. After procuring some late-night refreshments, they were greeted by Skaith and Cage and Dynamic Child, and eventually the rest of the band as they discussed the town a little bit further. Tweak was the first to retire to the bedroom for some experimentation time, but was quickly followed by Callum, Thistle, and Baracus. Chuck was particularly smitten by the band, however, and stayed up later than the rest to make a good impression, which he did, but wasn't able to keep up with the drink due to an average constitution save. During the night, Thistle experienced a connection to some kind of spore network, and through this was able to detect a cluster that was seemingly trying to communicate something with her, but she was unable to figure out what. In the morning, the group woke up to a hearty breakfast of mushroom stew, rat sausages, and a hearty flatbread before discussing their plans for the day. Most of the group were keen to visit Strognak the librarian, but also Bandan the lumberjack, with Chuck also interested in visiting the shop for supplies, some of the group interested in visiting the Tiefling Quarter. And this is where we'll jump in, with the group making final preparations to head out into the town and to continue their adventure, let's say.
Well, I guess let's finish breakfast and get going to see Marjorie.
I thought we were going to other places today.
Yes, we're going to Marjorie's to meet Bandan. She said she would broker a meeting between us.
So you're heading into the hall?
Or the guardhouse, because Marjorie didn't tell us where to meet Bandan. She just said she'd set it up.
No, she didn't. How would this go? Yeah, as you guys go to the hall and you ask where Marjorie is, you're actually told to go to the Tiefling Quarter.
Oh, well, you wanted to go there at some point.
Looks like this is it.
And you are directed to over on the western side of town. There is a door which leads to a staircase which goes down.
Yeah, open or try the door.
Yeah, there's no there is a door in the top section, but it is fully open. It's like a two by two door. It looks like it could be closed for security. It looks heavy, and it could be closed for security purposes. But right now, it's fully open. It opens in towards the town itself. And then this sort of area, it's pretty big staircase. It's like, what's like for an atrium? It's sort of like 20 by 30. And sort of like the stairs go down, spiraling down a couple of times until you get to this lower down to this lower section. And as you go into this lower section, it actually opens up quite a bit, and you realize that you are functionally on the outside of the dwarven settlement when you open up to the Tiefling, what you've been told is the Tiefling Quarter, and you see in front of you a collection of basic huts, a couple of buildings, but only two. They're sort of fairly rudimentary buildings made out of like wooden materials. Actually, one is wooden of the buildings, and one is actually does appear to be an old dwarven building. And then you see a collection of about sort of half a dozen larger huts, and then a few smaller tents spread throughout, and swags and stuff like that. It seems like this is more of a camp that has sprung up around one permanent structure and a few more makeshift ones.
So we're getting more towards the mine areas again.
Well, it's not quite, because as you look beyond the trees, beyond the huts, you actually sort of see that you're actually in the mushroom forest. You seem to be basically on the edge of the mushroom forest here. Like towards, like, as you look out, it seems so open that it seems like this area in particular, it's not fully open. It seems like there's some not open on all angles, but it kind of opens up towards the west. And around there is a fence around the it's sort of stone cobbled together, like stone that's sort of been cobbled together to make a fence, a barrier between this area and the wider mushroom forest.
Well, after you, Baracus, I think it would be best to lead with you.
Yeah, we haven't been pretty much told what building to go to, but that dwelling building is the largest structure here.
They would have actually told you to go basically to the edge of the Teetering Quarter that Bandan would be. That they met with Bandan, who would be getting ready to go out for the day.
Yeah, so I think we'll kind of head in that direction.
Yeah. So as you go past, you see a few fires. You see different goblin families. You see a few tieflings, but not actually that many. It seems to be more goblins than tieflings. You see a couple of dwarves, but they don't look particularly combative, like the one that you fought earlier, or the undead ones that you come across. They seemed, one seemed very young, one seemed very old, but they didn't seem like they would be good combatants. You see a smattering of other things, but it does seem predominantly to be goblins, actually, not tieflings.
Are there many or any zombies around at work?
Not really. There doesn't seem to be any zombies around here.
And I wonder who leads these people, or if they're just families.
We can always ask around after we chat with Bandan.
Yeah, I think we might need to, because someone around here, I'm looking around, seems to be just as many goblin folk as my people, and they may know where the goblin camp is.
Well, Tweak should fit in well then.
How you doing there, Tweak?
Yeah, not bad.
Chuck smiles at this.
Why are you grinning? I was hanging around goblins most of my life.
Indeed.
This isn't a secret.
Indeed. He continues to smile.
Okay, so as you guys make your way to the outskirts of the edge of this fence, you do see Marjorie and a few guards. They seem to be talking to some dwarf, middle-aged dwarf. It's hard to tell exactly because they're long-lived and you don't really know them well, but seems younger than a child, but not old by any means. You also see a group of goblins that are involved in the conversation.
Well, let's approach.
Good to see you then. This is Bandan. The dwarf nods. And this is also, I don't know all their names, but their leader is Rook. He leads the goblin scavengers that work out of here. Hi!
G'day, Brooke. Bandan, nice to meet you both.
All right. So you want to go out and try to visit these camps, eh?
We were thinking maybe not today, but yes, definitely in the next couple days.
All right. What'll it be then? Tomorrow or the next day, you reckon?
I'm happy with tomorrow. I'll look at the rest of the group.
Sounds good to me.
Chuck nods.
Did you want to kind of point it out on a map we've got, so you don't have to come find us in the morning? Or would you rather show us directly?
I mean, we can potentially meet at one of the camps. It's fine. Yeah, bring out your map. I'll have a look.
I think Tweak still got it.
I do have some maps, yes.
Right. So we're kind of at the top northeast edge here of the mushroom forest, and Oasis is right down the bottom in the southwest. The camps is essentially there's one west, there's one south, and there's one southwest. 1, 2, 3, essentially. Two of them essentially hug the borders, and one is the middle one. Would you want to meet at one of the border ones that are against the wall, the rock wall, or the open one out in the open?
I'd imagine the further we go south, the more activity potentially from Oasis. So it might be easiest to kind of take the northern one first, or the western one.
East. Sorry, it'd be. Yes, it's west. Yeah, your western one. Yeah. So the west one is on the northern, has wall to the north of it, basically. Yes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that took me a sec to kind of figure that out in my head too.
Yeah. Just just visualize it. Like, yeah. Yeah, and that does make sense to take. That's would potentially be a checkpoint towards getting refugees into Homestead.
So where would the entrance be, like the hole compared to where we are?
Essentially due west.
Okay, so we're in like the top right corner of the forest, and that's in the top left, pretty much.
Yes, pretty much. Just keep things kind of simple. Like, it's not a perfect square, but it is vaguely rectangular. Sort of being a little bit wider than it is tall, the mushroom forest. Right, so we want to meet at the western camp. I mean, it is also the northern camp. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, that sounds like a good place to meet.
Alright, well, I might. What do you reckon, Rolk? You want to do some scouting with me today?
Yes, I'm happy to do that. We can get a couple of boys. Check out with you.
Right then. So I'll have a little posse with me then. And shall we meet you there in the morning?
Yeah, I think we can get everything we need to do today done in one.
Oh, well,
Right.
We'll see you then.
We'll head out. We'll spend the night out there. We'll do some scouting. We'll see you in the morning then. And with that, Bandan and Rolk go off with a couple of goblins that Rolk has selected, and they gather up their gear and start discussing the plan. They're about to head out, unless you have anything else to say.
I will just ask Rock one thing. Everyone's there. I will ask him about possible goblin encampments that he might know about.
Oh, goblin camps? There's one. They don't take kindly to outsiders so much. I sometimes trade with some of them a little.
You let us deal with that. We have one that is an insider. Look back at Tweak.
I mean, I don't know these people, but I guess if you can give us something that can tell them that we're on the up and up. Is there like a secret code or something?
Oh, wait, I know you, Tweak.
Yes.
You remember Rock? I was just little.
Yeah, of course I remember you. I mean, how could I forget that nose?
Insight check.
Are you
No.
the goblin or fighting the twig?
I went for tweak.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Oh yeah, you can do an insight check on anyone.
14.
Tweak, give me a history check. You might remember. You might remember this goblin. It's gonna be a decent check because like there were a lot of goblins.
Natural 1 with an 8.
You have no idea who Rolk is. Like,
Yeah.
there were so many children. There were so many. A lot of kids got sent. A lot of the goblin kids got sent down that chute, right? So
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, they sent me down here when I was just a kid, but I leave the scavengers down.
Well, I guess if you could get us into this group, that would be great.
give me a deception check, Tweak.
Not bad. 17.
Okay, yeah. He seems like he's happy that you remember him.
Yeah, I can take you to other goblin camp, I suppose, Tweak. They won't like you, but maybe you eventually made friends with other goblins. They don't.
Put in a good word for us and tell them how amazing I am and how I helped all the goblins with weaponry.
Yeah, they don't really let goblins. They don't let male goblins from up above into their camp. They will let females though, and they will do some trading with us.
Doesn't that do like an imbalance in the sexes?
Oh no! Oh, some females stay with us. It's rougher there. They're goblins that still live the old ways.
So there's only a certain percentage of males and certain percentage of females.
Yeah, there's probably a few. There are a few girls that go there. Some of the prettier ones got to go there to be queens and stuff. We make by though. We get by down here. Do our thing. It's good to have you back. Maybe we can make some more booms like the old days.
Sure.
What do you need? What kind of stuff you need? I'm out there every day. I can get stuff.
I need, and I write them down on a long list.
I'm guessing like at the top, gunpowder or boom boom powder underlined.
Glittering.
Look, it just makes sense to reason. You spent like a long time with the goblins of above, so like they would know who you are.
I need copper, some nitroglycerin, or gunpowder if you can find, or some rails, with some lead piping.
Give me an insight check.
4.
Yeah, he's doing really bad on his deception check. So you know that he doesn't really. It's like,
Yeah, I think I can find all those things.
he's not confident that he can find all those things because he probably doesn't understand what all those things are. But he's confident he can find some of those things.
Good. If you could just get me things that go boom and get me shiny metals.
Yeah, I'll let the boys know. But you have to make sure you got something for us. We'll be risking our lives. But we'll take food.
Food, not a problem.
Right?
Do you eat spider?
We can.
We're going to be killing a bunch of them tomorrow, I think.
There's better stuff out there though. But we can.
What else is there out there?
What else is out there? There's a lot of random stuff. Lots of rats. Prefer rat to spider. There's the rats have been getting a little bit busier recently. Smart too. I don't know. It's weird. I hear there's fish people out there, but I don't go near the water too much. But yeah, I know this part of the mushroom forest pretty well.
Well, if we find anything that looks interesting or edible, we'll bring it along. I'm sure you'll like it.
Hey, look, I'll show you around tomorrow when you're out there. Anyway, we better be heading out. And yeah, Rourke heads off with Bandan and a couple other goblins into
Bye,
the
Rob. Nice to see you again.
See you, Tweak. See you tomorrow. Give me another history check, Tweak.
Good old Rob. Okay, 20. Dirty 20.
20. With that, like, yeah, you see a few goblin faces down here. So altogether, there's probably about 45 goblins down here, and you recognize about half of them. With a 20, I will say that you do recognize one other person who you're like would consider like one person who you would actually consider to be a friend. Would you want him to be a man or a woman, Tweet? Or do you want me to roll for it?
Roll for it.
Okay. So we go odds man, evens woman. Evens woman. You see your old friend. Weevil.
Weevil. You old bitch, you.
Is that Tweak as I live and breathe?
It is
Oh, Tweak, it's good to see you, old friend.
good to see you, you shrew. How they treat you down here?
Oh, it could be worse. Not great, no.
So you're running things down here?
My what, sorry?
Are you running rings down here?
Oh, no, I leave most of that to Rourke and the boys. I just try to get by, do me thing.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I try to just keep things in order around here. I don't know. You need to know. What do you need to know? Are you the newbies that I heard about? Did you cause all that ruckus yesterday?
We did cause that ruckus, yes.
Oh, Tweak, you've always been trying to get into trouble, haven't you?
Well, you know me.
I do, Tweak. I do know you.
And they give you a look like they know you.
She knows things about me.
We'll have to get the dirt on you later.
Oh,
What?
who's this weirdo then?
This is Callum. And this is Thistle. And this is Chuck.
Hey,
Obviously putting and this is I was just about to introduce you, Baracus.
well, you were speaking the common tongue, so I thought I'd cut in.
I use minor illusion to create a replica of this goblin.
Oh, he's a bit of a pretty boy, isn't he? Well, what do you need to know about the Tiefling Quarter here?
Who heads the stuff up here?
Well, Rourke and the boys mostly do the scavenging. We sort of work pretty collectively. There's sort of you have Shameen. She kind of runs things for the Tieflings, but there's not that many left of them these days.
Where'd they all go? They go off to Oasis or something?
Nah, they didn't leave for Oasis. They sort of just got fed up with things here about 6 months ago. And so about 3 dozen or so, they left to go make camp. They were sort of sick of not having enough space here.
That's fair.
And so they went to they ventured into sort of towards the Kobold area, I think. Or maybe it was down somewhere. They said one of the two. They were gonna find something. But Shameen runs it. It's mostly, to be fair, it's mostly like older people and like a few young folk. But there's a few other people, but they're not the fighter types. So it's mostly goblins down here now.
Well, we'd love to invite you to have a drink and some food in the in Homestead?
Yeah, it's fine. If you're buying, I'll come up. It's usually more than we can really afford to have those drinks.
Well, anything for you.
Oh, that's fine. We may. What else is going on here? But it's fine down here for the most time. We've had a few spider attacks as well, but if things get real bad, we do run into Homestead, and it's a bit safer in there. But normally it's fine. We've got our own fighters here, and we have the guards from Homestead helping out as well. All right, Tweak. Well, I'm sure you got busy stuff to do, but if you've got any other questions, you let me know. All right? Yeah, that old weevil know.
Always, Aubrey. Like I said, come down, have a drink, and we shall treat you well. I mean, you did save my life a few times after all. I do owe you for that.
I got times that you were about to die from choking on your own vomit after you knocked yourself out with that stupid experiment.
Yes, I vaguely remember that.
I'm not surprised. You take care of yourself, you idiot.
You too, you bitch. Yeah, I give her like a peck on the cheek. Mwah!
She slaps you in the face, and then laughs and walks away.
Yep. That's the way I remember her.
Sounds like you guys were close.
Ah, yes, we were very close.
She seems more entertaining than Marjorie.
She's quite the character, I must say. Yeah, not many goblins like her.
So yeah, you leave. I don't know. Did you actually talk to Marjorie? Marjorie's standing there and says, "Well, I thought that was quick. Look, I've got band down to wait before meeting. I suppose I'll head back to the command hall now, and if you need me, let me know."
Did Marjorie hear what I said about her to Tweak's friend?
Inside check.
Okay. 13.
You don't think so?
Okay.
Tweak, and you also know that Weevil can swing a scimitar in a pinch, but is no skillful fighter. Is as good a fighter as your average goblin, but no special than that. So yeah, what do you guys want to do? You're still just hanging out in the Tiefling Quarter?
Did you want to find this Shemaine, or do we want to head in and find Sognak?
Shameen.
Yes. I mean, yeah. It'd be good to get a bearing on how high up she is and where people went. Yeah, let's do that now, I think, because at least we're in this area, and then maybe swing back for Sognak.
As you're having this conversation, a small boy, that would be a small boy, comes up to you and says, sirs, Shameen would like to, and lady, Shameen would like to speak with you."
Oh. Perfect, young one. Show us the way.
Okay. They are just over that way in the stone building.
And you're pointed to sort of the largest building. Actually, it's not super large, actually, but it is the most sturdy-looking building around. It's probably it'd be 30 by 40 feet, so it's... actually, no, it'd be smaller than that. The wooden building would be that big. The stone building would only be 20 by 30. It looks
Inside,
it looks like some sort of guardhouse. Inside check on the child?
Yeah,
Sure.
I've seen this game before. Just see. It's a hefty 6.
This child might, you wouldn't be surprised if this child was trying to pickpocket you or something, but yeah, they so far they're keeping their hands to themselves.
That's all right. I'll head off to that building, but I will go with weapon in hand.
Of course. You definitely feel like you're getting some curious looks from the group as you walk over with a you've got a hammer in your hand now, like a hammer pickaxe, which is obviously a pretty fancy weapon. Are you wearing your armor as well?
Yeah, wearing the armor and just kind of holding the hammerhead by kind of its base at the moment.
Yeah.
Non-threateningly, but in hand. Yeah.
You've seen a few tieflings around, but not that many. And as you and they seem to mostly be younger, like teenagers, that just seem to be getting on about their day. And as you walk over to the building, yeah, it's not guarded or anything. You can just go straight in. The door is open.
Head in, see if I can see someone of power or the Shemeen.
Yeah, you see a young woman, probably mid-20s. She is pleasant to look at, seems strong and capable. She's currently washing dishes, and as she hears you coming in, she looks over and says, "Oh, you must be the new guy in town."
Yes, as well as a few allies, and I'll put the weapon away and casually approach.
Good. No, I had heard that we had new people about. There was some a bad thing that happened with the in the farms yesterday, right?
Yes, something that couldn't have been foreseen.
I heard a couple of people died, so terrible news. But fortunately, we're kind of used to it down here, sadly.
I haven't. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just thinking, well, how have you found your time down here? You've been okay. You wearing some fine armor and holding a fancy weapon. You don't have anything to fear from me, I assure you. I'm not really a fighter. Well, and I can survive.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job on those dishes there. I mean, how do you think we've had? Yeah, it's. You can see me. I hold the fact that I'm a tiefling. It's not hiding it, and we've spent a little time here, and already we've had a bit of a story to tell, bit of a renown.
Yeah, something tells me you're the kind of person trouble follows. Would that be fair to say?
Wouldn't be inaccurate. No.
Right. Well, I'm
But-
hoping you're also the kind of person that can get things done.
Apparently, yes. We've been doing that this whole time we're here. What could I help you with?
Well, see, you may have heard that there used to be more tieflings here. There's less than 20 of us now. I sort of am in charge now, just because they're mostly older and young, and they don't really know. Some of them need help just surviving down here. But yeah, a group left about 6 months ago, and we haven't heard from them. We were hoping to hear back from them. I was hoping that if you're going out there, you could try to find them.
Is that all?
Look, it's been 6 months. I'm not expecting anything overnight. If I'm honest, I don't have anything to offer you as a reward except for my thanks and maybe maybe I can find something that's been set aside. I don't really know, but I'd appreciate it. They said they were going to try to find a way below the mushroom forest, away from all the bullshit. But we don't know where that would be. I know the goblin camp is supposed to be below the mushroom forest somewhere. So maybe Rook knows how to get below?
Ah, yes. Rook. Character. Yes, we're familiar with him. Maybe.
I suppose, I've heard about the chasm, so I suppose that would be a way to get below. But I know that our people definitely didn't go that way.
We have searched a little bit of the down below. Ran into a few things down there, but I think we might have been on the wrong side of the chasm.
Yeah, I suspect they're on this side of the chasm. I don't know why they would be on the other side. But if they really wanted to get away from the bullshit, maybe they tried to get to an edge somewhere. But there was
Maybe
3
they
dozen.
ran off. They might have ran off and joined the other team. Ever considered that?
Yes, it's possible. It's possible they could have been captured by the spiders in the oasis as well. The truth of the matter is that we suffer the worst of the oasis attacks here. And as you can see, we're a little bit more exposed. The rest of Homestead hasn't really suffered anything, really. They help us with guards, but to a certain point, we're left to fend for ourselves down here. The rest of the tieflings just got sick of it. The goblins are sort of okay with it. They're used to bullshit. I suppose we're used to bullshit as well, but the tieflings just decided to do their own thing and leave.
Tweak. My people generally are a proud folk. If they didn't have space here, if they didn't have room to live, room to function, they'd go and strike out at whatever cost. I don't know. That may be the story. I don't know.
But we don't have. There's only really me and Maxori. We're really the only fighters in amongst the tieflings. The rest are all children and old people, just trying to survive.
So the strongest in your force have left, headed into the forest.
They were part of this group. They were sick of being exposed to oasis attacks and being considered second-class citizens by half of the people of Homestead. Can you really blame them?
No, I would have done the same. Probably wouldn't even stayed that long, to be honest. Welcome has not been as such very welcoming, but I know what that pride can do. And would you be surprised if I return with news of your whole people being slaughtered? That may well be the case. Just be prepared.
I'd rather know than not know. I mean, what can we do? If they're captured by Oasis, that would be terrible, but we suspect that Oasis have been recruiting most of the tieflings that have been coming down, recruiting or enslaving potentially. The ones here, we just want to get by. Most of them aren't fit to travel, so I'm just sort of taking care of them.
I feel like the prejudice towards you people here, could have pushed them into Oasis's hands. Why don't you just, go to Oasis? Why would you stay somewhere where you're so persecuted for who you are?
I don't really. I've seen the spiders rip my friends and family apart. I don't really want to work with them. I don't want to eat. I don't want to become a cannibal. I just want to survive. I've thought about it, but I don't think I could do it. I think they'd see through me.
Well, maybe if we continue working with the Homestead, we can push the agenda of everyone is equal, as it should be.
Yeah, but this is a bit of a side thought. How long are we going to be in Homestead? I mean, we do have to move on at some point.
I don't see why.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, most of the people in Homestead will say that we are equal, but at the end of the day, we kind of have to live out here. And but if we get attacked, we're allowed inside the doors. And
It shouldn't be like that. You should be allowed to go whenever you want, not just when we're attacked.
no, we're allowed. We can go to the pub, but like we don't always feel welcome, though. But yeah, like we would never go on the east. We would never go east of the river without an armed guard, essentially.
Yeah, those guys are assholes. I think they're starting to get on our better side now, but yes, they definitely didn't have a good introduction when we first met them.
But like we go to the shops, we go to the tap and bunkhouse. We're fine. I wouldn't always say that we're welcome.
Well, it would be good to change that.
It would be nice to get. Well, to be honest, as I say, other than me and Maxori, we're not really fighters. Tiefling. It'd be nice to get most of them inside, somewhere safer from the spider attacks, because they have been picking up. We used to just have like one every month or two. Now it's like probably on average we're getting more than one a week.
You being on the outskirts, you generally see the brunt of that fight. Do any come to aid?
Oftentimes they will try to like do a hit and fade, like a feint attack where they will sort of make skittering movement on one side to attract guards over there, while sending other spiders to make an attack on the other side. So yes, we have seen the brunt. They will often just try to capture one or two people on their own and take the bodies away.
We were going to deal with this spider problem earlier, but I feel like now it is something that it's a larger problem.
I mean, we haven't been attacked in some time, in nearly a week. So it wouldn't be surprised me if we were attacked soon, but if you're dealing with the problem, as you say, perhaps that would distract them enough where they do not attack us for a time. I don't know.
We can hope so, but I would still be quite cautious of them.
Oh no, we have plenty. We're under guard. Homestead sends their guards. We are not forgotten about here, but we are also left here.
I'm looking around and I see the younglings playing, and I see you trying to get an existence here. Is there any other infrastructure or any other buildings of your own here?
We have
a pub, but that is the others.
We have the night markets. When the goblin scavengers return in the evenings, they will bring in whatever they have found during the day, and there'll be various bartering happening. If they have meat, there'll be meat on it, or whatever they've scavenged. Sometimes they'll have found something interesting. Often the Swift Hands will send someone to check out and get involved in the bartering. They'll send 2 or 3 of them sometimes.
And they are on nightly or just whenever they have supplies and calls out?
Generally, there's someone returning every day. Sometimes in the night markets, it may just be 1 or 2 people returning. If people are on doing longer missions or longer outings into the Undercrag. It's not just goblin scavengers, but they seem to be some of the best. The small, sneaky, able to see in the dark. Humans don't make the best scavengers in the Undercrag. They're better at guard duty in the light.
Looking around at my friends here, I think we have an agreement. We can help you based on what we've done and who I know these people to be. We could do that. I know you don't have much, but information, and if you can answer our questions when we come back and give us information we need for us to strike it out there, that would be help enough.
Well, of course. I don't know. I sometimes go out there, but I don't know the forest beyond what other people can tell you, I would say. But I'm happy to assist in any way I can.
Hopefully, when we meet again, I will have some better news for you, or some news at all.
Indeed. Well, I'm happy to meet you all. And know that you're welcome here. We're always welcome to see additional fighters spending time here. We're happy to put you up. It may just be a swag or a hut somewhere, but we'll find a place for you here.
I'll give a low bow and take my leave.
She just goes back to doing the dishes. Give me an insight check.
Okay. 10.
Yeah, she seemed like a capable individual, but yeah, not anywhere near on anyone of yours level, but like as capable as. Yeah, there's a reason she's a survivor. But yeah, you guys are left to leave, and you're standing in the middle of the Tiefling Quarter. Yeah, you continue to see like goblins that you know, like the younger children you wouldn't recognize a lot of them. Tweak, and that you logic that they were born down here, and that's why you never met them up above. The younger tieflings seem to have left. Like the children.
Do I notice any hereditary like genes to the children?
Oof. Give me like an insight check with disadvantage.
4.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Look, you met you definitely Weevil, well. You spent, you saw her grow up essentially. You're almost like an uncle to her. And Rolk, yeah, he probably sees you in the same way, but you definitely didn't know him as well.
Okay.
But you recognize other goblins, but you don't know them well. The tiefling children seem to have left. You would have seen some of them going towards the entrance to the main homestead. Perhaps they're going to meet the other children for classes for the day.
Oh yeah, we did see some of them when class was in session, didn't we?
Yeah. The goblin children, not all of them seem to be as concerned about class.
At some point, as we're kind of walking along, I'll turn around to the rest of the group and say, far be it from me to speak for anyone here, and apologize if I did back there, but that was hard for me to see. Not so much Shameen or Maxor, but to hear that these people have struck out, and the reason to be, just because they didn't find any welcome in this place. I see it too many times, and I just wanted a quick conclusion.
I was hoping it would be somewhat different than it was up in Virtue.
Seems a common thread, doesn't it? I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. It is no different to my home.
People are people. Everywhere.
Yeah. Yep, they are. Even in hell. And it's just, you come to these places and you see kids at play and trying to live their life. And Shameen, I feel like she's trying, but she's got jack shit all to work with here. And, for what? Always an uphill battle. So good.
Well, maybe if we make enough name for ourselves in Homestead, we can try and merge the communities.
I think that is one of the hopes. And Thistle, I can see your frustration. I get it. I'm a bit antsy too. I think there's a lot more to see than just here.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, well, as an example, with Callum, don't you want to get out of here and go back to your wife and children? Or do you want to stay here?
Where would I go if I went up the top
Back to your family?
and then get arrested and thrown back down?
There is a point. There is a function in doing some good here. Not being heroes of the town and solving every problem, but just doing something to get some name, so our names aren't dragged in the mud, so we can get ourselves back out there.
I would settle for not being lynched.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I'd say, Chuck, you probably do get some dirty looks from some of the goblin, and maybe some of the tieflings as well. But yeah, a lot of the tiefling children probably wouldn't be giving you dirty looks. I don't think they would know to do that. Maybe some of the goblins, though. I think they would.
Yeah.
But it's not too bad, I wouldn't say.
Maybe your first lesson there, Tweak, at the bunkhouse should be goblin politics, racial ethics.
Twig has already been spreading terrible rumors about Chuck to the goblins in goblin tongue.
I mean, you could be. There's like a group of goblins like hanging out by a fire, just sort of eating from a pot of brown. You guys know what a pot of brown is, right?
Gruel.
It's a never-ending stew. It's a perpetual stew. You just throw the next thing in it, and you make more stew. And you always keep it at the safe food temperature, so it doesn't go sick.
We had something like that back home, with the main ingredient being a rock.
It's like a buffet. A bowl.
Well, these things actually existed in human history. Like they're like I think a bunch got drained for World War II.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily bad things. A lot of these build their flavor because of how many times you redo it.
Yeah, there's science to like the temperature they keep them at. Like they keep it at like 140 degrees plus sort of thing. So just everything dies.
I can imagine a lot of home recipes getting birthed from that.
Yeah, if you want to get you're offered a cup if you go over there. If you want second breakfast.
Yeah, we'll go over there and shoot the shit, as they say.
Yeah, you just get like a small bowl of stew. It's okay. It's fine. Not as good as the breakfast you just had, but it's fine. I mean, yeah, the goblins, they seem content. Like their existence. They say their existence here is as good as it's good. It's just fine here. It's probably slightly better than above, really. No, at least we can't fall off the edge here.
Well, you can fall down some cracks, I say, in Goblin.
Yeah, there's cracks everywhere. We've got our niche. We could, it sucks that the girls don't want to stay sometimes. They can sometimes have a better life down below, get treated a bit better, but the ones that want to stay independent prefer it here. Life could be worse, and often is for our kind.
Yeah, but you don't do yourself any favors, that's for sure.
We try to work together, take care of each other. Rook helps a lot. He sort of keeps the scavengers getting good stuff and tries to get good trades.
And how's Audrey? Is she keeping well?
Audrey died. Life is tough down here.
I just spoke to Audrey.
Which one was Audrey? That was Weevil.
Oh, Weevil. Where did I get Audrey from?
I have no idea.
I thought you were doing that on purpose. You'd
Like-
never get names right.
And how's your Audrey? What is the sketch about? Oh, I can't remember. But they were like, "How's your Delilah?" or something like that.
So Weevil is treating you well? I mean, Audrey died. That's just horrible to hear.
Oh yeah, no, Audrey, me wife. She didn't make it all the way here. Nah, but Weevil's good. She sort of takes care of us. She's an independent woman. She doesn't want to go down to that nonsense and be a kept woman. So yeah, she's good. We're all right.
I'm not sure anybody could keep Weevil.
I doubt it. She gets about though. You've been there, right?
Not with Weevil. I know her too well.
Yeah, that kind of surprises me. You never. I'm sure you thought about it.
No, nope,
All
never.
right, all right.
Just friends.
All right. Well, you're missing out. I'll tell you. Anyway, best get back to it. We'll be. But if you want to come around for the night markets, hopefully there'll be some good stuff today. But it sounds like Rook won't be coming back with anything. He's going out to do something else with the lumber camps. But I'm sure some people will.
Callum, you still looking for wood?
A little bit, but I think we'll find our plenty share out tomorrow.
Fair.
Tweak, come on, let's go. We've got to go meet Bandan. No, not Bandan, Sognak.
I'm coming.
Okay, so you guys leave the Tiffin Quarter and head into the door up the staircase and in back to Homestead. But I don't think anyone knows where Shognak is.
Oh, we could always head back to the inn. I'm sure they know there. Or just ask someone.
Ask someone around.
Yeah, you can do that. Or you could go to the Swift Hand family shop is like just to the north of you as well.
Well, you didn't get a chance to visit there, Chuck. Did you want to go via the shops?
Yeah, that'd be good.
So basically, it sounds like your main two shopping options here are the Swift Hand family shop or the night markets. The night markets being more of a lucky dip.
Yeah, and also run by the goblins and tieflings, right?
It sounds like most of the goblins, but it sounds like there are other scavengers. But like the goblins sort of have a bit of a lion's share of the scavenging.
Is that more? Is that more like not scraps per se, but like materials and food compared to goods? I suppose you could say at the halflings.
I dare say, yeah. I mean, like it sounds like the halflings sort of probably filter through that list to get what they actually want and what they know trades well, whereas the goblins sort of just get whatever they get. Whatever looks useful shows up at the night markets, and what gets filtered by the Swift Hands is at the shop. I mean, the Swift Hands might have other sources as well, but it sounds like that's at least one of their sources. Yeah, so you go to the shop if you want.
Yeah, I'll go to the shop. I can't imagine I'd had too much luck with the goblins, given the dirty looks.
There was the night markets weren't operating as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
It sounded like it was just collected. There was just breakfast and stuff happening.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, you guys, it's just up around the north, around like a jut of stone that pops out. And actually, as you go around this jut of stone, you notice that it's actually a bit of a notice board of things to do. What would be there though? There's a thing saying donation. Come to the temple. Like donations welcome at the temple. And like a list of things that they can particularly use, like being like non-perishable food, textiles for blankets and bedding. There's a notice of a bounty on spiders. Basically 1 day's ration. Oh no, it would be like 5 days ration for evidence of every giant spider killed. There's a notice from the Tappan bunkhouse asking for ingredients, meats, edible foods, exotic edible foods. In the fine print of that thing, there's like a thing saying they could also use more bedding supplies at the tavern. There is a notice from the Swift Hands saying that they're always looking for useful things. Come by, trade, barter at the Swift Hand shop. There's an old notice from Skathan Cage looking for band members that you noticed. There's also a thing, sort of more fresh thing, which is about music lessons. If you want to get involved in music lessons, what else?
I'll grab some of those off the wall. They're like those little tags that you rip off the bottom of the notice.
Yeah, like obviously they don't have phones, but it just said if you want a music lesson, come bring this tag to Yanana and Raslo. There is a notice, this pretty old one, just saying bringing potions available at Shognak's, just up the stairs on the western side. And yeah, there's also be a notice about, come join the guard. Everyone, we always need more guards. There'd also be a notice saying, come be a farmer. We always need more farmers. But yeah, that's sort of all I can think of right now. And you guys make your way to the Swift Hand family shop. And since it's 9:30, maybe we may as well end there, I suppose. But as you enter the shop, you just hear a greeting saying, "Oh, hello there. You back again?"
I'm new.
"Oh, you brought a new fella. All right then. What do you need?" And we'll figure out what he needs next episode. That's it for this episode of the High or Lows podcast. If you'd like to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter at High or Lows with underscores between the words, or you can find me at Feepster.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a 5-star rating and review, which is one of the best ways you can support us. You can also join the discussion on our Reddit and Facebook pages, or even our Discord server, and maybe play some games with us. Links can be found in the description below. Special thanks to Sirenscape for the background audio and Alex McPherson for providing the opening theme. I hope you can all join us next time as we continue on our adventure.